12 years. That's how long it's been since India lifted an ICC ODI trophy. But now the wait is finally over. But does this win erase the pain of 1911? And was Dubai scheduling fair? And where does Indian cricket team go from here? Joining us today is a power pack panel, and let's dive right in. What a win for India. It's been 12 years since we won this, and we finally have a ODI trophy in our hands. How special is this moment for Indian cricket? And more importantly, does this triumph finally help us erase the heartbreak of 19th November? And or will that loss linger in our background forever?
For me, the happiest thing about this victory is the spin quartet, right? I have not seen spin quartet playing for India maybe long, long ago, even before my birth. I think possibly spin quartet has played in one single match, right, or one single series. Spin trio we have seen, spin duo we have seen, but this is very happy to kind of like see spin quartet actually.
That's true. And I think the one day format lends itself to the fact that one of the top fours have to make big scores. And that was the consistent theme in all our games. The league games, the semi-final and the final, that one of the top fours would make a 70, 80 plus or 100. And if that happens, you will see the percentages of the team either chasing or batting first, doesn't matter, is very, very high. So I'm really happy that they took responsibility. Even though people like Shreyas Iyer did not make big scores, but he really contributed. So top four is really the key if you want to win any white ball tournament. And India had the best, most potent, balanced bowling attack, as you just pointed out, Vijay. It is very, very important to have that kind of bowling attack for the type of surfaces you are playing. And India by far had the best spinner. So kudos to India. The selection committee, which are much maligned most of the times, we have problems with them all the time. But this time we should give them credit, especially for picking the ace. I don't want to name that ace as well. Everybody knows. Yeah, great going. If, all round, the players, the selectors, everybody deserves credit for this win.
And not just the top four, as mentioned by Jagdeep Uncle. It was even KL Rahul. He has had an average of 114 in this tournament. And Hardik
Brilliant.
Pandya, he chipped in with a few sixes every single match. We saw it against Australia and in the final as well. So everyone has come in and we have had this special moment. All of us here in IIM Rohtak, we all enjoyed in the hostel. It is a very great moment to be a part of actually.
Yep, very happy.
So I think that this victory is like massive for Indian cricket. We have an ICC ODI trophy back at home after losing that 1911. But I think the ghost of 1911 may still linger as that was our home World Cup, and with so much of preparation, so much of planning, it was seemed like India will win the trip and we'll celebrate like a festival. But that did not happen on the nights of 1911. Australia had other plans, but still like this will help us heal some wounds, but on the other hand, like they were very dominant at the kind of cricket they had been playing in the past years. The dominance is high especially in white ball cricket. Red ball cricket, we still have to like make some more efforts.
The second question is about the scheduling debate. It's actually heating up, and India played all their matches in Dubai while other teams had to travel back and forth. Was it just a coincidence, or did India gain an unfair advantage while other teams battled the travel fatigue? And did ICC do its best to ensure fairness?
Yeah,
See, I'll
right.
divide this question into three parts. Okay. The first part is India's advantage and burdening the other teams. The second part will be how ICC should have behaved as an organizer in this situation. The third part will be what ICC could have done to level the playing field for all the teams. Okay, the first thing, India's advantage. See, India had just one flight to take from India to Dubai, and that's it. They were only traveling from hotel to stadium and stadium to hotel for the games, and maximum to the practice ground. So everything is situated in the same area in Dubai. See, because I lived in Dubai, I know where things are actually. So there is not much travel involved for India, not much burden for India. And also, India will only play on one particular condition, that is the Dubai ground, which is going to spin a lot. Since pitches are tired after the IL T20, so it's going to be slow, and everyone knows that it's going to spin. And for teams traveling in and out of Dubai, they don't have all the matches in Dubai. They will play on highways in Pakistan and then come to Dubai and play the unplayable spin. So different conditions, but India are well trained to play on these conditions. So India had massive advantage and easily took the trophy away home, making it one of the most easiest tournament victories for India. Coming to the second point about ICC's incompetent scheduling. What they could have done is, first of all, they should not given the hosting rights to Pakistan. All right, see, already 3 matches were washed out in Pakistan, so which shows that weather played an important role over there in qualification terms. And moreover, India and Pakistan's relations are really sore, and that doesn't help. And ICC should know it. They have held these many years from not giving a tournament to Pakistan, and they should have continued with the same vein. See, in FIFA, this doesn't happen. So it doesn't happen like you are giving a hybrid venue for another country. I think. See, India has been given enough advantages. I'm not undermining their efforts, but the advantages are there to be seen. Even in T20 World Cup 2024, Guyana was the designated semi-final venue for India just because Indian people have to watch it at 7 p.m. So coming to the third point, where the ICC could have found a middle ground, is that they could have given at least last two league games of Group B in Dubai, so that they could have understood the pitch conditions before playing the semi-final. Since why I'm saying the last two games is they would finish their games in Pakistan, they would come to Dubai, they would play the last two games, and after that they would get ready for the semi-finals. So they would have got a lot more time to acclimatize to the conditions and play against India. It would have been an even contest. So I'm not undermining India's efforts again. So it's just that you should not have given this much advantage to a team that is already the best in the world. All right. So there will be a lot of experts and pundits talking about it. So ICC as an organization should avoid all these things.
Yeah, I would like to chip in with some of my comments. Hi, everyone. So there are 3 points from my end. First, I agree to the point what Prashant said, that Pakistan should not have been given the position of host due to washouts. The crowd which was coming, it was comparatively less in respect to Dubai. That is one thing. And the other thing is the quality of grounds. Everything was not up to the mark. That is one thing. That is agreed. If all the teams had played in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, those three venues, interchangeably, it would have been an even contest in that sense, agreed. But I would strongly disagree to the point he told. India had a massive advantage of staying in Dubai, hotel to stadium and playing. But where did these people who are talking now went when we played 9 different venues in 2023 World Cup? Still, we dominated the group stages. And in finals, we weren't good enough, but at the same time, we were unlucky to lose that World Cup. And that heartbreak is still with us. And also in the T20 World Cup, he quoted the Guyana point, which is very well taken, being a spin assisting venue and the time frame for Indians to watch globally. But India traveled from Florida again to West Indies. They played in Barbados, they played in Antigua, they played in Guyana, they traveled there also. And we won that World Cup. And in 2023, Australia had the advantage. They played 3 straight games in Bangalore. Then they went 2 games in Dharamshala. So they traveled lesser. So can we call Australians had that undue advantage of winning that World Cup? Never, right? Because they played really well and they are a champion team with that champion attitude. So I strongly disagree to the point, but the traveling thing is accepted. They have a small advantage, yes, but even if all the teams had played in Dubai, India would have crashed everyone and won this cup. That is my point, actually.
I think one minor change, they could have had the semifinals on Wednesday and Thursday instead of Tuesday and Wednesday. That would have given all the teams minimum 2 or 3 days space between the last matches, right? So in that way, they could have scheduled it a bit differently to avoid all these problems, right? And see, I don't think scheduling is a big problem here. In fact, I think Gautam Gambhir actually clearly made one point. The kind of pitches that were given to them for practice, right, is completely different from what they have in the ground. Okay, so in that way, all the other teams did not have that disadvantage actually, right? And second thing is that I think in a tournament like this, in a multi-country tournament like this, right, conditions cannot be kind of like taken as an excuse at all, right? Travel conditions are all not excuse at all, right? You have to just turn in and you'll have to kind of play. We have had triangular tournaments in the past where within like the 1.5 days of match finishing, after a day-night match, 1 day break, and the third day they will be having a day match. So people have played like that, and test match is like 5 days at a stretch people play, right? So I don't think these are all like excuses for professional sportsmen.
The advantage was definitely there, but really, sports is never going to be a level playing field in every regard, right? There's another point which we all need to be careful about. Everybody knew that India had the advantage, so that brought extra pressure on India as well. So we also have to take that into account. It will never be fully fair. In fact, if you look at the next World Cup coming up, irony is that India within their own country will travel more than an overseas tournament. So it's always going to be unfair for someone. But at the end of the day, I think 5 years down the line, nobody will really remember this fiasco. Only the results of the team which played on that day would be remembered. So I think it's about time that we moved on from that and focused on the cricketing aspects of it.
And on the spin advantage in Dubai, right? We all know the 3-0 whitewash New Zealand inflicted on us, right? And that was like a even worse spinning track than Dubai, right? Dubai at least gave some opportunity, fair field for both the batsmen and the bowling team. It's just that the better team won actually.
I had a look into
Sorry.
India's ODI calendar, and we have Bangladesh away. We are playing Australia in their backyard, and then we have South Africa at home later this year. So, is this just another set of bilateral series, or do you see this as a clear transition plan taking shape? Should this phase be where we bring in youngsters like Tilak Varma, Arshdeep Singh, Jaiswal, Sai Sudarshan, Ruturaj Gaikwad, or is it too early to move on from experience to a younger side?
First of all, if you see the ages of all these players, the main core of the players who won this Champions Trophy, I think it is only around 30s. They are not even 35. Only Rohit, Kohli, and Jadeja have crossed 35. So if you see the next 2 years, because 2027 World Cup is just 2 years away. So if you see those World Cups, so it is going to be a matter of people who are going to play 31, 32 years of age. I think that should be pretty fine. In my opinion, bringing in a new youngster before this World Cup may not be the right idea. Maybe you can try them for some local matches like Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and all. But when it comes to major teams like South Africa, Australia, England, New Zealand, and all, I think we should play our core group because this core group still wants to win a World Cup, right? Champions Trophy cannot be equal to the World Cup. So people would like to go on high and then win this World Cup. So particularly for Rohit Sharma, because he's never won a ODI World Cup, which is the only thing missing in his cabinet, along with the Test World Cup. So I believe that all these exact core of players will continue to remain and then guide the other people as and when they come in. So we can just take it one at a time. Maybe after 2027 World Cup, when Rohit Sharma is 40, Kohli is 39, something like that, then slowly the transition can start taking place. Before the 2031 World Cup, we will have full youngsters like Tilak Varma and the guys rolling in.
And just to chip in with what Lakshman said, I just want to add a small point. ODI cricket has to be preserved. It is in that stage where we used to play 30 ODIs every year. When we were growing up, late 90s kid, 30, 35 ODIs. If that is not the case, Dhoni, Yuvraj would not have played 300, 320 ODIs in their career. So that's how it was. ODIs was our emotion when we grew up and the favorite format for me. To see that format getting declined slowly is really tough. But to preserve it, we need bigger players to play and the marketing has to be top notch. That is one point. The other point is due to the paucity of ODIs, maybe maximum we can play 20, 25 ODIs before the 27 World Cup, for which we definitely need Kohli. I don't know what Rohit and Jadeja are planning, but Kohli will definitely play. So these senior pros, the Trinity trio, as I call Kohli, Rohit and Jadeja, they need to play these games in order to stay match fit and relevant to the ODI World Cup of 27. So the transition can happen slowly. Maybe suppose if Rohit doesn't want to play the World Cup, if he changes his mind and tells my body is not cooperating, suppose, then you can bring in a player. Even Jadeja can retire in the mid. We don't know, being an all-rounder. If that is the case, you can slowly bring in new faces. Or otherwise, you can just continue with the team till the 27 World Cup. And once the World Cup is over, whatever may be the result, these three will retire. That is for sure. From then, you can start grooming the new players. And they will be 25 or 26 size version, even after 2 years. That is still good enough to break into the Indian team and develop into next level.
I slightly disagree from you, right? When we look at World Cup, and especially next World Cup is going to be in South Africa, which will have definitely more pace-friendly conditions, right? And people who are able to kind of like play that kind of pace, I believe Jaiswal should be playing, okay? And then the question is who will have to go out, right? And ideally, one more youngster will be good. I think Tilak Varma might be the best bet, right? So in that top six, I would possibly put, I know none of you like Gill, but I like Gill. But so Gill, Jaiswal, and Tilak Varma, right? I think they should be there in that top six. Other three can be either one of from the old trio of Kohli. Kohli will certainly be there. So maybe I think they should go with Iyer, Rahul, and Kohli. Ideally, it is the best stage for Rohit to step down, but I don't think that is happening, and I think that's where the selectors will have to kind of like take a call. So that is one point. Another point is ODI, the relevance of ODI, right? Last year we played just 3 ODIs, okay, and
I think India's upcoming ODI fixtures are very crucial for shaping the next phase. With Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Mohammad Shami, and Jadeja approaching the twilight of their careers, I think it's the perfect time to integrate some young talents as well. We have seen Tilak Varma, Jaiswal performing really well in whatever the opportunities they have got, and I think it would be more good for them to come in and play some matches. Let this be the phase to groom in, so that if the senior players are retiring, we have someone or the other who's taking that responsibility at the same time. Because at the end of the day, Indian cricket should not suffer. Indian cricket should always be in good hands.
And I completely agree with your point that the senior players will have to transfer their experience. But let's also come to what's coming ahead of us. The IPL is coming up, and all the focus will be on T20 cricket. But right after that, we have the grueling Pataudi Trophy against England. Switching from fast-paced, high-adrenaline IPL to the patience and skill of Test cricket is never easy. Can India make the transition smoothly, or is there a real risk of carrying too much of T20 hangover into red ball cricket?
So I think we will always use that first test as a practice game. And for the remaining 3 or 4 tests, I think we will possibly play good at. And I think where we lose the first test and come back to win the series seems to have been that template. The good part is that England is also in a transitionary phase. All the senior players have gone, except one or two. I think most of them have gone. Bowling is completely new. And that might actually be a bit of an advantage for India. And I hope that either Bumrah or Shami, one of them is fit and present in that squad. Okay. And I'm not too worried about India's fast bowling strength. I think especially you have the guys who performed in Australia, they'll all be kind of like Siraj will be there. You'll have Mukesh, hopefully they'll get Mukesh in there. And few guys like that, I think that'll be good for us. We need to have one quality all-rounder, like the role that Pandya played, right? The fast bowling all-rounder or a medium pace all-rounder is going to be very crucial. Hopefully it is Reddy. I don't know whether it is Reddy or Harshit Rana. One of them should actually come up, step up and play right. But I think, yeah, it will certainly be a big factor, right? After having played limited overs in matches for so long, I think it is important that we need to kind of like give at least one practice match to the team before we kind of like go ahead. And Sudi was also pointing out in an earlier episode, South Africa was willing to play a practice match, right? Just as a preparation for the WTC final, we should take that opportunity.
My 2 cents on this is IPL is completely different ball game to what will happen in England. The format is different, the conditions are different, and India doesn't have a great record in England. Our batsmen are not in form. If fast bowlers are not fit, then we might as well not go. There are 5 test matches in 6 weeks. We need 3, 4, or maybe 5 fit fast bowlers. Bumrah can't play all 5. We need Shami to be fit, and we need to shuffle between them. We need a batting all-rounder. And the most important thing is we need to give ourselves time. So maybe the players who are getting eliminated from IPL should go to England early, play some county games, play A series, whatever it takes. We need to go into that series prepared. We should not let this mistake of thinking that England is in a transitionary stage. They've got great fast bowlers and they are playing at home. So if we don't take care of these few tick boxes before we go to England, we'll get off a very bad start in the next cycle of WTC. We've already missed one WTC final. It shouldn't happen the next time around. So prepare well, take fit fast bowlers. And if that means Bumrah has to maybe sit out the IPL like Harry Brooks has, then so be it. I really admire his decision of giving up those $2 million for the sake of playing for his country. India is the richest sport in the world. Why can't we do that? Why can't we have Bumrah sit out the entire IPL? Why are we talking about him joining in the halfway stage of the IPL? He's the most precious resource Indian cricket has. We better take care of him.
the Patauti Trophy would definitely it would demand some patience, technique, and a different mindset also, because you're not playing just 1 or 2 matches there, right? It's a 5 game series, and you need to be mentally prepared. You already have that BGT loss in your mind. I think post the Champions Trophy, a lot of players have also talked about it. It should not be focusing like we just had won the Champions Trophy, we had won the T20 World Cup, and the business is done. No, I think we should always strive the hunger for a win in England, South Africa, Australia, especially in Test series.
Just to add to this point, on a lighter note, hopefully teams like Mumbai and RCB don't qualify for the playoffs. Because then that will give an extra week for people like Rohit Kohli to jump into England and then start practicing.
Whoever wins the
I really
IPL,
don't care.
India has won a trophy now, but the journey is far
Yes.
from over. With a packed ODI schedule, IPL, and the Patauti Trophy coming up, there's plenty to look forward to. But what do you think? Was this the right time for a squad to undergo a transition? Should ICC step in scheduling issues? And will India manage to switch from T20 mode to Test cricket? Drop in your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more cricket discussions. Until next time, keep the cricket fever alive. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.